What's good, Black Star Podcast? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Jeb. Y'all, today we're going to be looking at a video from the Millionaire Morning Show with Anton Daniels. Now, this video is about how over 300,000 black women have been laid off. Look at this.
Disproportionately affected, specifically black women, and they've been doing numerous different reports on multiple different channels. Check it out.
They have no idea how I feel. It's just horrible. It's horrible.
Quay Crowner calls herself a career vet, having worked in federal jobs for over 3 decades. But at 55 years old, while employed by the Department of Education.
So how did you find out you were being let go?
An email.
And she's not alone. The latest jobs numbers revealing there were 319,000 fewer black women employed in July versus February.
What went through your mind when you realized that it's been many black women affected by jobs losses?
I saw the headlines, but I felt it first, and it was a conversation amongst my colleagues.
Since February, the rate of unemployment for black women rising by almost a percentage point, while the unemployment rate for everyone over 20 is staying flat and even declining for white and Hispanic women. The unemployment rate for black men also jumping.
The losses that have occurred over the first half of this year have disproportionately been borne by black women.
Valerie Ralston Wilson is director of the...
You know what I don't like? I don't like how they always say it's just black women that's losing jobs, when clearly it said that it was spiking for black men too. Like, even when it comes to unemployment conversations, we as black people, we separate ourselves by gender. And it's quite funny. It's quite funny because it's always like, oh, black women are losing jobs at a high rate. But nothing's ever said about black men losing jobs at a high rate too. It's always funny to me how we always say, how they always say, oh, you're supposed to protect us, and you're supposed to hear us out and all this stuff. But then when the same thing's going on with us, they don't give a shit. It's only about them. It's like, really? It's like, you can't make none of this shit up.
Program on race, ethnicity, and the economy at the Economic Policy Institute. She says the Trump administration slashing jobs across federal agencies is having an impact.
We're cutting down the size of government. We have to. We're bloated. We're sloppy.
We know that black women are about 12% of the federal workforce, which I believe is about double their share in the workforce overall. So losses in that sector, you would expect to have a larger impact.
Ashley says, why is it just on black women? Well, it's not on just black women, but black women are the ones that are being disproportionately affected by government jobs because historically they do not seek private sector jobs more than they seek government jobs. And let me tell you why, Ashley. I'm going to give you the game. All right. This is what happens. This is a cycle. And this is why I'm just going to be real. This isn't targeted towards black women. This is the articles that's being presented, right? This is how it happens. Women have long championed the idea that they have degrees, and men, specifically black men, are being left behind and they not educated. I did a video last week, where a woman said, I will not talk to a man that don't have a bachelor's degree. She ain't say nothing about whether or not he got money, his own business, if he got good character. She ain't say none of that, right? I've also done shows where women have said that men are being left behind based off of education, because when they go into these classrooms, it's disproportionately women on campuses getting indoctrinated by the plantation of Democrats and liberals more than men. Well, here's the other side of that though, right? Is that all of these women took out student loans. So I don't see men on the apps like this. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Trump is requiring student loans. Men ain't saying that. You know what men are saying? And that's messed up. You know what else was happening? They wasn't going into STEM field programs disproportionately. They were going into liberal arts, basic stuff, marketing, business, regular stuff, right? And so while they were getting these underwater basket weaving degrees in African-American studies, they were always able to get a job for the federal government. And the reason why this is specifically about black women is because they labeled themselves as double minorities. Double minorities had greater opportunities in the federal government, considering that they were trying to keep the jobs report high, and disproportionately saying that, hey, listen, jobs are still plentiful because they were subsidizing women going into these fields in the federal government.
So basically, oh, I'm a woman, I'm a woman, and I'm a black woman, so you're supposed to give me a job because of that. Basically, that's all I'm hearing. So basically get a job out of pity instead of getting a job off of merit. That's what it sounds like to me. So basically, cry me a fucking river until I get a fucking job. You know, it's kind of pathetic, to be honest with you, because it's like this. Y'all always say, oh, black women deal with the most shit, but y'all always exclude us. And then when we start excluding y'all, then it's always an up in arms situation. Oh, black men doing this, black men doing that. Stop excluding black women. It's like, okay, come on. Time out. Cut the bullshit now. Because y'all do the same shit to us, and then when we do it, oh, it's a damn issue. That shit is getting old. It's been old. Now y'all want to fucking cry fucking river about it. Like, no.
It did two things. It gave them a security blanket, and it also gave them an opportunity to forgive their student loans once they went on an income-based repayment plan. So it didn't matter how many student loans that they took out. You don't think that they knew what their student loan balance was going to be? They were looking for it to be forgiven until you no longer had that option. So you can go and borrow as much money from the federal government as you want, because they knew that they was going to go on an income-based repayment plan for the next 10 years, that they would still be able to live their life, go to Tulum, tell guys that they're not worthy of talking to them, and then get their student loans forgiven like they actually paid them off. That was the play. For decades, for years. That has been the play. To leverage diversity, equity, and inclusion to get into positions and then get your student loans forgiven and have a career in which you were never affected by what was going on with layoffs. But now that we realize that the majority of those jobs were not needed and we needed to right-size the government instead of allowing for it to become more bloated so that other people can have jobs instead of them adding value. And if you were so valuable, then that means that you wouldn't have any problem with all of your experience and education with going to get a job in the private sector. That's not happening. It's not happening. Again, because they were subsidized by the federal government, which is one of the reasons why they voted the way that they voted. It's no coincidence why Biden made a part of his campaign the first go round the idea that he would forgive student loans, a handout. That he would forgive student loans, a handout. What do you mean you're going to forgive student loans? You mean you ain't got to work for nothing? You could just forgive it? That's just the end of it? So what happens to the next generation of people? They can get theirs forgiven too? That's just the way that we go? Just get your student loans forgiven, huh? The Democrat Party keeps people voting for them by promising them things that taxpayers at large have to pay for.
Honestly, it's all a fucking game at the end of the day. It's all a game. Because they promise you shit that they're not going to do. Because in turn, it would have called it, and if in turn, they would have to deal with it. And what do I mean by that? Their money's going to be, they're promising you all this shit, but it's going to be their money that's going to get cut in the end. So they basically give you the fuck you and screw you part, and then you just be over there looking crazy as hell. It's honestly kind of sad, to be honest with you.
It's a cycle. It's a cycle. They wanted equal, but they never wanted to do the work that actually allowed for them to consider themselves equals. The linemen, the police officers, the firefighters, all of these type of jobs, The real jobs that keep America going, the electricians, the plumbers, you don't see a lot of women in those fields. Even when it comes to corporate America and leveling up, a lot of women expect to come off of paternity leave, or they expect to come from having their children and then waiting till their children are old enough to be able to go to school full time 5, 6, 7 years later. And then they want to jump back into corporate America and say equal work for equal pay. But most men don't have a break. Maybe when they get laid off, but in a general sense, most men don't have a break between the time that they started working at 16, 17, 18 years old, all the way up until the time that they either die or retire, depending on which field of study that they go to. Very few men from the time, because see, we always like to talk about, well, men die earlier than women. We don't take a break. From the time that we open up our eyes, it's go time. All the way up until the time that we lay down. Every day for the rest of our lives. From the time that we step off the porch to the time that we close our eyes, we work for our entire lives. There is no breaks. Ever.
Exactly. Because I can guarantee you this. Ask your boyfriend or husband when's the last time she actually took a break. He actually took a vacation for himself. 9 times out of 10, never. It's honestly kind of sad because it's like a lot of men work themselves to the bone and they don't get anything out of it. You get talked down to, you get shitted on, you get all this stuff thrown in your fucking face. But then at the end of the day, you're the one that's keeping everything together. You're keeping the house afloat. You're the one that's out here trying to build something for yourself or something for the family, for the legacy. You're out here making sure all the bills are paid, gas tanks full, all this different shit. Most women don't have to worry about that if they got a man. Stress kills men. Stress is one of the leading causes and the reason why men die at an earlier age than what women do. Stress. Constantly worried about different things. Constantly being constant pressure. It kills you slowly. Day and night. Well, from dusk to dawn. Men work. Men go out here and build something. From dusk to dawn. You can never say that a hardworking man is just idling by. You can never say that. But a lot of women don't respect those type of guys. And they always, and the thing is what happens is this. A lot of these women don't recognize that and they try to push all that weight on their shoulders. Meanwhile, or all that weight on themselves, and it destroys them. That's the reason why you're seeing so many women out here talking about, oh, I need a man to help me be in my soft girl era or my soft life. Because of that shit right there. Pressure is not made for hips, it's made for shoulders. And a lot of women don't understand that nor get that. But anyways, like, share, subscribe, channel, support the podcast, spot.com. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Thank you guys for listening. Bye, guys.